very warm welcome, everybody. From my side, my name is Verena. I'm a communication specialist at Martel Innovate, which is coordinating the EU IoT project that is organizing this event. We are very happy to have you here on board, and it is my pleasure today to guide you through our Cloud-Edge-IoT pitch session. For those who just joined, a quick reminder to please mute yourself here in this tool. It's on the down left corner. Also, if you're not a speaker, please turn off your video so that we can run this session smoothly. A few organizational aspects. So the session takes in total 1 hour and 50 minutes. We have 14 pitches today on our agenda, and the pitches are divided into proposal pitches and organization pitches. The proposal pitches have 5 minutes in total for running their pitch. I'm in charge of the slides here and will guide the presenters through their slides. And then after the proposal pitches, we move to the organization pitches, which have 3 minutes each. So in order for everybody to have enough time to do their pitches, I kindly ask the speakers to stick to the time. So I will have an eye on the clock, and I will, if necessary, move forward to the next presentation. I hope that is okay with you. Thanks for your understanding. We want to give everybody the time to pitch their idea and organization, of course. After the pitch session, we invite you to join the one-on-one meeting session. So if you have registered to the one-on-one meeting session in the agenda, you can schedule one-on-one meetings with other participants. You can do that by just going to their profile and by selecting the time slots that are available there. And we really encourage you to do that in order to meet new people, in order to work on your proposals and just to discuss your ideas. And then there's actually more sessions available. So even after this event, which will stop today at 1:30, even after the event, you have 2 weeks the time to still schedule meetings with event attendees. So you go to the profiles and you select the time slots if they have registered for these networking sessions. So we really encourage you to use these networking opportunities for building your consortia and for finding people to work with. In case you have any questions during the session today, please make sure you have the name of the participant, of the speaker, and you know who's presenting so that you can ask them afterwards in the one-on-one meetings or via the chat or via the personal messages you can also send to speakers. And with that, I stop talking now and I kindly give the floor to our representatives from the University of Oulu from Finland. They have prepared a presentation on computing in the cloud edge continuum. And I see already, you're sharing your screen, Susanna, that's also great. So, okay, I would say I stop sharing the screen and then you take over. Thank you so much, Susanna. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay, thanks. So you can hear me, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Susanna Pirttikangas. Hi from the rainy but warm Finland. We have had exceptionally nice weather this week here. So I'm presenting on behalf of University of Oulu Interactive Edge Research Group, and we are especially interested in the future European platforms for the Edge meta operating systems research and innovation action as a partner, but also as a possible coordinator for cognitive cloud framework. And we are developing towards I'm presenting a research team, so we are computing in the edge cloud continuum and developing towards the next generation self-aware systems. Our research covers the development of intelligent functionalities for the computing infrastructure. We develop towards trusted and flexible services and communication in collaboration with wireless communication experts. We want to orchestrate and design for data sharing and local feedback. We develop towards distributed learning and AI enhanced computing, and Also, we want to distribute the computation vertically, but also horizontally in the whole infrastructure. That's very briefly. So we develop platforms for mist and fog computing. We design for optimal edge server placement and predictive orchestration. We develop theoretical frameworks under the paradigms of federated transfer and decentralized learning. And we want to support decentralized decision making. And one important part, especially for the future European platforms for the edge, is the application verticals. So especially we are interested in autonomous vehicles, ITS, hybrid reality. Of course, we design for security. The secure edge is our main aim, of course, as everybody should have, and we design for privacy. We want to enhance novel applications and better services. Here are some selected publications from our teams, and you can contact today me or Lauri Loven. He's also here, and or our Professor Jukka Rieti by email. And we are part of the 6G flagship program, which is a national flagship program.
There's someone who does not have the mute function. Please mute yourself to not disturb the speakers. Konstantinos, I think.
Maybe you can mute everybody and then I
mute myself, also Susanna. So when I will mute, you have to unmute her, yes?
Okay, now I'm muted, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so we are part of 6G flagship program, which is a national program and with international collaboration for the next generation wireless communications. And for the core future European platforms, we can bring company ecosystems. We are very experienced in enhancing and building ecosystems. So we would be able to bring super IoT ecosystem and also research ecosystem, allied ICT Finland, and then company ecosystem of Oulu automotive cluster for cooperation. So I would be happy to discuss more on these topics. But for the cognitive cloud, we could also participate our Gaia X initiative. So we are part of the Finnish hub with VTT for developing the Gaia X, and then we are part of the Excel joint undertaking Fractal project developing the next generation AI IoT nodes. So contact me or Lauri today and let's talk more. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Susanna, and thanks for being so much in time here. Very, very perfectly organized. Yes. And again, a reminder to everybody to please mute yourself. We can only mute everybody, which means that we also mute the speaker, which is not so practical. With that, I would say let's please continue. On the list, we have a representative from ZAAW, that's the Zurich University of Applied Science. Are you here?
Yes, I am. Hi, can you hear me?
Perfect, Patrick. Yes, we can hear you. If you would like to, you can share your screen, but I can also share your slides. What do you prefer?
If you can share my slides, I seem to have some problem at this end.
Yes, let's do that. Well, give me a moment, please. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, many thanks. So just a very quick overview of the group. So ZAAW is the technical university in Zurich. It's Winterthur, which is just north of Zurich. We have an embedded systems team, which has been running there for nearly 20 years, 6 professors and 60 staff overall. This slide just highlights some of the capability in the center. So communications, processing, security, low power have been very important topics for us. And then around the edge, some of the application areas. You'll be aware that Switzerland is a small country, but has a very advanced industrial ecosystem. And this work builds on a number of national projects and local partners, which we would like to grow into the European community. So industrial automation, big players that we've worked with, Agriculture is an important area for Switzerland with a number of IoT systems we've deployed in high-value agriculture. We've done some work in healthcare, wearables, energy harvesting, IoT systems. We've worked also in logistics, supply chain, and retail. An example there. Infrastructure and smart cities is an important part for us, especially in terms of infrastructure. So water systems, transport systems, we've been active there. And we've got a growing activity in smart buildings. So there's activity and interest in sustainable buildings, energy saving, making buildings smarter. And I'll say a bit more in a moment. But these are IoT, IoT Edge, must be connected to the cloud. So that's where we bring some capability and application experience. The next slide, please. So just enter into a little bit more detail into a project idea we have around low-power wireless for building automation. We already see very basic systems and buildings, but the next wave will be to connect these together as a web of things with semantic interoperability. The security is becoming increasingly important, as we heard in the earlier talks, and really lightweight systems, so systems that are active but only active in the lightest way, and with the necessary edge computing. I'm not going to go through all of the capabilities in there, but we've done a number of projects with local partners to build up. An example there is this leaf node, which has got some sensors and some processing, which can be connected in the ways described earlier. And if I go on to the next slide, my last slide, another slightly more out there application, just to emphasize the edge processing. This is on food waste analysis with a local partner, Kitro in Switzerland, automatic detection and kitchen waste in restaurants. So embedded machine learning with the camera, with the adaptability. So a little application use case which can save money for a user, where we have some really quite clever processing image analysis that was mentioned before at the edge, feeding back into the cloud. I'm on the network. Please contact me, Patrick Courtney, and ZHAW. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I will stop sharing, and thanks also for being on time perfectly. I would say we immediately move forward with the next presentation. Here I invite a representative from MET Communications in Germany. Are you here?
Yes, I am. Good
Perfect,
morning.
Antonio. Good morning. Everything is all right. Do you like me to share your presentation, or do you want to take the screen?
Yes, please do it for me, Verena.
All right, then I will share again and we continue immediately. Give me a second. Okay. Please, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning to all of you, wherever you are, and thank you, Verena, and the organizers for having the opportunity for this short pitch today. I have 4 slides which give some key messages I want to bring across. First, who we are. We are researching SME located in the center of Germany, the town of Bad Homburg. Our areas of activity are also covering management and technology consulting. We work since more than 20 years in the field of knowledge management, innovation management, and software engineering. And also since more than 3 years now, very focused on artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. The focus activities in artificial intelligence cover, well, let's say, best way to give an impression of it is that I tell you I've done 2 publications recently, one on data quality and sovereignty last year. The other one on risk management and mitigation, which is bound to be published next week. We also have been active in the European AI Alliance platform since 3 years now, and have contributed and learned very much from and to this platform. Next slide, please. What we want to bring across today is the message that risk management is becoming a major part in the play of artificial intelligence. We have learned and heard much about trust and trustworthiness as a unique selling point in the previous presentations here in this event today. These concepts of trust and trustworthiness are even more, let's say, important in artificial intelligence because this is a technology that raises much fears in the public at the first hand. The best way to address the trust and trustworthiness subject from our point of view is to make clear that any provider of AI solutions should be able to show he's aware of the risks involved and he's doing something on the risks involved. That's why we chose to work on the subject of risk management framework for artificial intelligence. In this second paper I've mentioned, we have made some conceptual outline to this regard, and this is what we would like to follow on further in projects. Next slide, please. We have identified a methodology to do it, and we would like to introduce this to future project proposals. We are quite confident that each proposal should, which is in the area or touching the area of artificial intelligence, should also include work on risk management as a unique selling point and in the concept of trust and trustworthiness. That's what we would like to offer. Being a small SME, we have not the capabilities of leading projects, but we are very keen and very interested and very willing to contribute. Next slide, please. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for the interesting presentation, and also for being so well in time as well. I suggest we immediately continue with the next pitch. Here we have Alexander from Platform Outtake in Austria discussing an interesting project on, well, healthy aging domain. Alexander, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Platform-Uptake.eu project consortium, I would like to thank you to the organizers of this event for the opportunity to present shortly this great initiative and to raise awareness on its main objectives and ongoing results. Next slide, please. As you know, aging presents one of the greatest socioeconomic challenges of the 21st century. Such European Union has devoted a high level of resources to ICT projects in the field for active and healthy aging. As such, a considerable number of open platforms for the development of innovation solutions in the AHA domain have been created. Unfortunately, their impact in the field and existing gaps haven't been thoroughly analyzed and assessed. Some of them are known to the wider public in Europe or have even stopped existing. So against this background, Platform-Uptake.eu seeks to understand the whole ecosystem of open platforms in the AHA domain and contribute to the development of open market for digital solutions in the field and ultimately promote the uptake of open platforms. The Platform-Uptake.eu project is a coordination and support action funded from the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research Innovation Program with a duration of 26 months and 172 person months. So to facilitate the large-scale uptake of open platforms in the field, the consortium identifies factors which are critical for the development, deployment, and spread of open platforms in the active and health aging domain, as well as defines KPIs for analysis of their success. Departing from the outcomes of the analysis and established KPIs, the project develops monitoring and self-evaluation tools to support platform providers, but also their stakeholders to assess the platform success and evaluation potential. To depict a clearer picture of the progress made by existing platforms, the project analyzed their evolution, sustainability, and socioeconomic benefits. All activities related to the collection of insights and generation of knowledge, of course, carried out through the involvement of end user communities and related stakeholders via several workshops, as well as stakeholder consultations, video interviews, and presentations. Finally, the project disseminates the acquired knowledge to the end users to increase the envisioned uptake of existing platforms and promote identified benefits. Next slide, please. So what had platformuptake.eu achieved so far? We had carried out a broad ecosystem mapping by identifying at the beginning 48 open platforms in the field, including their stakeholder groups, narrowing down the list to 8 main representative cases. These 8 platforms were subject to comprehensive analysis of their business, technical and contextual dimensions. The project defined a set of strategic key performance indicators to be tracked for the successful interoperability, synergies, and cost-benefit analysis of the platforms under consideration. The definition, clustering, and prioritization of the KPIs has been carried out according to the 4 main stakeholder groups of platformuptake.eu project, with a focus on their needs, expectations, and requirements. So based on the collected KPIs, but also the outputs from the 3 dimensions of analysis, platformuptake.eu set up a methodology for monitoring and evaluating the uptake of existing platforms in the field. The methodology provides a solid and complete tool covering more than 50 questions. Currently, we're implementing the monitoring and self-evaluation tools in the hub. They're based on the KPIs and the performance methodology, and will support platform providers and users to self-assess the success and uptake of open platforms in the active and healthy aging domain. Next slide, please. So to bring the importance of open platforms, but also highlight their benefits for the developers of technologies in the field, the project will organize in the coming weeks and months matchmaking events. Within these activities, platformuptake.eu will seek to promote best practices and reach stakeholders not involved with the services of existing open platforms. The interested parties will have the opportunity to register on our open information hub and get engaged with the platforms identified by the project. Therefore, we'd like to kindly invite the representatives of such entities among you to join us during these events and get in touch with potential collaboration partners and users. Next slide, please. More information on these events will be published on our project website, Open Information Hub, and social media channels. Thank you very much for your attention, and we're looking forward to collaborating with you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Alexander. Also perfectly on time here. So let's immediately continue with the next presentation. I cordially invite Geert to take the floor. I guess it's you presenting. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very well. So I present to you Threefold, which is a Belgian SME that has developed over the last 20 years, I must say, cloud technology. And now we are bringing technology, basically, we're bringing a decentralized operating system that we esteem to be fit for the edge. Next slide, please. What you could compare our technology with is what solar panels do for electricity. The 3 nodes on which this operating system runs is to compare to a data center. You have massive data centers and the small version of it, which can run in every household, basically. Next slide, please. So it's an operating system that combines storage, compute, and network in one. It's compatible with IT standards such as, well, everything inside Linux. It has a kernel inside, containers, IPv6, and it can run on existing hardware, which we estimate that it's really important to make it fly quite quickly. It's scalable, reliable, and secure by design. We have developed quite some interesting technology to elegantly split up data in a way that no single hardware owner can have access to it. Next slide, please. And we esteem that it's capable for the edge. For that, we need to do a bit more, and we invite partners to collaborate on that with us. It gives in the end an incentive for local hardware owners to keep their resources connected to the grid, which is from an operational model perspective really important to have this cloud at the edge really fly, we believe. It gives other advantages in terms of capital requirements. Contrary to big data centers, it does not require a lot of money. And also from an operational perspective, it's quite low intensive, as we have developed quite a lot already in automation. Next slide, please. Together it's about an operating system, which I explained. The automation that we have built.
I'm sorry, Gert, to interrupt you, but there's someone who does not have their mic muted. Please make sure to mute yourself.
Sí.
Yeah, I'll continue. So we have implemented also blockchain technology inside to make it really decentralized and have a trusted environment to make it all run. So these are the 3 components that have been built. Must be continued to be developed to be fit for the edge, mainly on embedded devices for wireless connection, etc. There we still need to do something, but we believe we have really firm foundations to make it all work, I would say. Okay, we also developed in a lot of self-driving, self-healing technology, as basically unlike big tech data centers, you don't have in every place a system administrator to make it all run. So this is why we really have this automation run. So in case there is for example, a power outage, that there is continuity of operation. Next slide, please. So to conclude, we kind of make the link between we bring traditional centralized cloud technology to the edge. And there you can see a small overview of where we can add value. We have quite a lot of technology already in place, where we'd like to make it really fit. There's still a few elements to be worked on, and we invite partners to work on that with us. And if there are any questions, I'm ready to answer them in a face-to-face meeting. I thank you. Yes, we are there. Here are the websites where you can find a lot of information. Thank you for that.
Hello, I will take over from Verena because apparently she might have a connection problem.
I'm sorry, I'm back,
Okay.
but I think I was muted. Koen, are you here? From the University of Ghent? Or another representative from the University of Ghent? If not, I would say we are a bit ahead of time, but then let's continue. So if Koen from the University of Ghent does not arrive anymore, let's continue with the organization pitches. So now we have the Research Institute of Sweden, RISE. Do we have the representative of the RISE Institute of Sweden here? Could you?
I am here, but Verena, I think you may have skipped one of the.
Yeah, I just said I think I was muted during that time. Sorry for that. There was change of plans. So there's one presenter who told us he could not present today. So we are moving ahead, and I don't hear Koen from the University of Ghent. So let's continue with the presentation of your institute, if that's okay.
That is perfectly fine. And if you will just bring up the slide. I had one slide.
Yeah. 1 second. So please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Verena, for this opportunity to present. So my name is Emil Svanberg. I work as a business development manager in the area of edge computing. I am calling in today from the northern parts of Sweden, the city of Luleå, and I think that makes me the northernmost participant in today's event, close to the Arctic Circle, where we have midnight sun this time of year. I work at RISE, the Research Institutes of Sweden. We are a state-owned, independent research institute. We're the home of more than 100 industrial-scale test and demo centers, and more than 2,700 employees, and we have locations all across the country. More specifically, I represent a unit called ICE Data Center, where we go to work to make data centers, edge and cloud, sustainable and efficient. We operate an open data center testbed with about 250 kilowatts of IT power, roughly 2,000 servers and 240 GPUs, just to give you some benchmarks there on our size. We're a team of about 30 people, and we have our research organization divided in two main parts. One is focused on the data center systems side, where we have facilities like climate chambers, and we have wind tunnels and things of that nature, where we study power and cooling aspects of data centers. We have advanced research in life cycle analysis for data center operations, and we do a lot of work on industrial symbiosis with data centers. The other aspect of our research is on the applied data science side, where we look into the full software stack of the cloud and the edge, including advanced applications running on top of that, of course, including artificial intelligence. We're a fairly young organization, about 5 years old, but we've been involved in lots of projects on the EU level as well as national level, of course. One I would like to bring up is the Boden Type DC, which has been named the world's most sustainable and cost-efficient data center building ever made. Another one more perhaps related to today's topic is the Edge testbed, which was inaugurated in 2019. We focus on the network edge, and we build prototypes of varying sizes. And most recently, just a couple of weeks ago, we deployed an edge node at the deep network edge in a public 5G testbed, including both indoor and outdoor capabilities, a real 5G standalone capability, I should say. And that's a fairly unique opportunity that's now available. I'm here today looking for opportunities where we might contribute our edge and cloud testbed facilities, and of course the related know-how. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Emil, for the presentation. And I suggest we immediately move on. I invite Angel from that's difficult for me to pronounce, but Fundación Cyber Voluntarios. Angel, are you here?
Yes, hello, good morning, everyone. I'm here.
Good. Please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you for the opportunity to do this speech. I'm talking on behalf of Fundación Cyber Voluntarios, which is a non-profit based in Spain for 20 years, and where we promote this digital transformation with social impact. If you can go on with the presentation, please.
Okay. It's oh, sorry. I moved too fast now. So.
Yes. This is the...
It's a strange format. Yeah, please.
Okay, that's it. So our vision is to expand the rights, opportunities, and capacities of thousands of groups of attention in situation of digital vulnerability. Our main core is building capacity and digital skills for people that can be at the risk of digital vulnerability. We work with a network of almost 2,000 tech volunteers helping out to carry out those activities. Within that, technological solutions and digital skills, they are tools that help citizens generating impact and social transformation. What we promote is facilitating alliances and collaborate in national and European projects to build replicable and scalable impact. With all of activities, we can reach more than 60,000 people annually only here in Spain. We are involved right now in 10 European ongoing projects. And if you can go to the next slide, please. This is our main way of collaboration. This is we have this network of volunteers, tech volunteers throughout Spain, collaborating directly with more than 1,000 organizations between municipalities, NGOs, universities, SME startups, and other public and private sector to get to the end users, to get to the beneficiaries, and reach with all of these activities that might be training, testing phases, piloting phases, hackathons, to reach more than 60,000 people with our activities. What we promote within a consortium in a European project is the testing phase, the user requirements, the piloting phases to test those technological devices, namely application software platforms, to give feedback to the technical partners to improve the digital device in the lifespan of a project. If you go to the next, with all of our activities, 20 years of work, we have been named one of the 100 Europe's digital champions by the Financial Times. This is one of our achievements. And if you go to the next slide, please. This is a glimpse of a European project impact. We are working right now with more than 83 partners in 10 European projects related on how disruptive technologies like big data, artificial intelligence, blockchain, other disruptive technologies can improve people's lives and can provide solutions to real people, the real needs of people. In the next slide, you can have access to my contacts. This is my email. I don't know if this is going to be uploaded in the website here. So please feel free to reach us out to looking for new partnerships and collaboration in calls this year and next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angel, for the interesting presentation. Let's immediately move on to the next presenter. We have here from Digital Catapult representatives from the UK. Please take the floor.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Good morning, or maybe good afternoon for some people. So I am Andreas, and I am leading on our international partnerships, and I'm representing Digital Catapult, which is the UK's leading advanced digital technology innovation center. Next slide, please. So the Digital Catapult is a non-for-profit research and technology organization. Our main center is in London, but we have offices in other parts of the UK. And our mission is really to increase the adoption of digital technologies in the different sectors. So we specialize in the manufacturing, food and drink, and the creative industries. And we have 5 technology layers which stack very well in this idea of edge computing. So starting from IoT and sensing, we have done lots of work on IoT benchmarking. We have an LP1 testbed. We have different experts looking at IoT interoperability and IoT security on 5G. Similarly, we have 5G testbeds. We have done lots of work around network orchestration, which is very relevant for the edge computing idea as well as work on Open RAN, so opening up the 5G network to third-party vendors. On artificial intelligence, most of the usual things like computer vision, predictive modeling, but more interestingly and more recently, federated learning to learn from different distributed sources of data, also preserving privacy. In terms of distributed systems, here we're talking about legal smart contracts, decentralized operations, things like privacy preserving, data sharing, and so on. And then finally, immersive, which is more the visualization layer. So all things related to AR, VR, and different types of haptics, interested as well in different types of visualization, digital twins, and XR interoperability. So as you can see, lots of different interesting technologies that have an importance for edge computing. We can move to the next slide, please. We have, apart from our group of researchers, we have groups of innovation experts and design and service design experts. So we complement the technical expertise with business questions, with design questions, usability questions, and we also run innovation programs and acceleration programs. So throughout our operation and last years, 600 companies have been through our programs. 120 companies from the industrial setting have been working with us to understand how they can implement these technologies in their businesses. We have been able to secure more than £100 million in investment for smaller companies, and more than 3,000 companies have been using our testbeds and laboratories. So in the next slide, you can find my contact details. I'll be happy to collaborate in Horizon Europe moving forward. Please get in touch, and I'm happy to be back in the research game.
Thank you so much, Andreas, for the interesting pitch. And we move immediately forward with the next presenters, this time from France. I cordially invite representative from Green Communications to present the pitch now. The floor is yours.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Pauline from Green Communications. We are an SME based in France, specialized in wireless networks and distributed systems. We have created GreenP, which is an edge cloud platform. These platforms enables edge devices to communicate directly one with another, bypassing the internet. It also federates the computing capacity of these edge devices to create an edge cloud. This edge cloud is used to host edge applications and services. Right now, we propose edge services for network visualization, IoT management, geolocation, and also for user communications such as a chat, a push-to-talk, a file sharing system, and so on. And this edge cloud is open to integrate any third-party services. The application areas are pretty large. We deploy GreenP into the defense and public safety domain to connect groups of drones, people, vehicles, so that they can communicate directly and share services and intelligence for swarming and other sort of applications. So here, GreenP is an embedded edge cloud, almost wearable edge cloud. And we also deploy into facilities, production sites, hospitals, to connect various IoT devices and to relocate an artificial intelligence programs onto the IoT devices or near the IoT devices. And we also connect multiple edge clouds deployed, for instance, in multiple hospitals and multiple facilities, so that these multiple sites can share the same services and send data one side to another directly without any intermediate clouds or intermediate company. We used to participate to European collaborative projects. We are unable to lead, for instance, technical work packages on solution design, developments, and then we collaborate with other partners for the implementation and pilot testing, for instance. We aim, our goal is to get involved in projects for regarding like relocating artificial intelligence at the edge, or working on the cloud continuum, where we could bring our technology stack at a very far edge. We are also a lot involved into internet decentralization and distribution of the cloud at the edge for lowering the carbon impacts of the internet in general. So please, if you're looking for a partner that can lead work packages with a strong technological background and for the following calls, cloud continuum, internet decentralization, relocation of AI at the edge, and so on, we're here. So there is no my contact detail on this slide. It's a mistake. Sorry about that. I will put my contact detail into the chat. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Pauline. And we move immediately forward with the next presentation. Alberto from Open Nebula, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I hope you
Perfect. Please go ahead.
Great. Thank you. Well, thanks a lot for the invitation, and thank you all for being here, all the speakers and attendees. Just 3 minutes just to let you know about the project we are running now and the new open source technology we are developing as part of One-Edge, which is a Horizon 2020 project that will finish in March next year. So this is a project behind Open Nebula's transition from being a private cloud solution, an infrastructure as a service solution, to being an edge computing platform. So the kind of stuff we've been doing lately is providing support for application containers as well, not just VMs, and managing Kubernetes clusters around, especially deployments at the edge, with things like K3s. Our platform is based on implementing a true multi-cloud approach. That means you can use Open Nebula as the middleware you need for workload portability across different providers, cloud and edge providers, and also for interoperability, so creating services that run on different providers. We've developed this nice provider catalog that helps companies and organizations to avoid vendor locking and leveraging resources from different providers, as I mentioned, both from hyperscalers, but also the idea is to help and Europe's next generation edge ecosystem to develop and have more visibility in terms of offering the services and resources to others. And the whole idea is to be based on a number of open source technologies and integrating them in our platform. So we, as an organization, will be leading our own proposal for this call. So we won't be able to join other consortia as members, but the technology we're producing is open source. So just an invitation for you to have a look at the work we've been doing, the technology that's available for your projects. And if you want to somehow integrate Open Nebula and the One-Edge features into your projects, just contact us and we'll be happy to assist you with that. Also, if you have interesting use cases, we are moving from the private cloud to the edge and the IoT field. So if you have interesting use cases, especially in the IoT realm, just feel free as well to contact us. And finally, if your organization or if your project is involved in setting up infrastructure resources at the edge that we could potentially integrate into our public catalog of providers, again, feel free and you're very welcome to contact us as for this call or for any other research and innovation calls or for commercial activities. We are very happy to discuss ways to collaborate. So yeah, good luck to everyone and see you around.
Thank you so much, Alberto. Thanks. A quick reminder to everybody, please mute yourself. I hear some dog barking. I invite now to the stage the next presenter from the Instituto Pedro Nunes from Portugal. Sergio, I think it's you, right?
Correct.
Please
Hello,
go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Sergio Figueiredo. I'm a technical project manager at IPN and senior research as well. Regarding IPN, please, next slide, Verena.
Yeah, I have a problem here. 1 second. Oh, now it's too fast. Sorry, it's because of the PDFs. Okay, now we go.
Okay, thank you. IPN is RTO, which has its roots in the University of Coimbra. So it was created about exactly 30 years ago. And we are in close proximity to the university and also the SMEs and startup scene in this region. So for this reason, we can divide our involvement in three main threads. So the research and development, the incubation and acceleration of the companies, and also providing specialized training mostly to SMEs. Next slide, please. Looking at our main competences, we have four main pillars. So big data and AI, cybersecurity, communications, and software engineering. And we have experience in applying those technologies and those competencies across different sectors, such as health, agriculture, utilities, telecommunications, or even PPDR. And looking more closely into the competencies which are directly related with these topics, we have significant experience, particularly in management and orchestration topics, which we have been following since the beginning, let's say, of NFV and so on. And we point out here some potential related work addressing, for instance, the latency and the resilience through service placement mechanisms. We also have some competences in different optimization techniques, and also leveraging not only fog-based simulation, but also right now we are already applying also technologies such as ONAP, which is quite production oriented. Finally, I would also highlight our competencies on data privacy. We have a team of PhD graduates which span privacy, orchestration, and other communication related topics. Next slide, please. So what we can offer for these specific thematics, we can contribute on novel approaches for intelligent autonomous adaptability in terms of network management and orchestration. We have also know-how which can be useful for advanced approaches for self-organizing networks and applying intent-based networking approaches. And in slightly different topics, we also can contribute to distributed trust and reputation systems and slightly related remote attestation, for instance, for IoT solutions. Just to close the presentation, I point out to our most related project. We are coordinating Arcadin IoT project, where our colleagues from Martel are also involved, for instance. And we also highlight two Portuguese funded projects which are related, Oreos and Smart 5G Grid. And just to close, I didn't leave a contact, but you can find me in the event portal for sure. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergio. Thank you. And I'm sorry, but I think there's someone still not muted. So I hear someone clicking and I heard a dog. Could you kindly please mute yourself if you're not a speaker? You find the button in the down left corner. Thank you so much. All right. I actually still hear someone clicking. Please check if you're muted. We move forward to the next presentation. I cordially invite our colleagues from F6S to the stage. Robert, are you there?
Yes, I am indeed. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Nice to see you all. Some of you know us, maybe others don't, or maybe others heard of us, but have a vague idea of what we do. F6S is Europe's largest accelerator platform. It's got over 4.2 million users at the moment. 135 people. We're an Irish partner organization, offices in London as well, and in Portugal. And I myself am based here in Barcelona in Spain. Yeah, for this particular cluster, but also others as well, we do two main things, I suppose, in European projects. If we move to the next slide, yeah, we're in over 35 projects actually at the moment. It's growing every day. And I suppose around 20 of us work full-time on European projects because we, yeah, I suppose you could say essentially in the context of this cluster, but also others, is that essentially we have a captured audience, okay? As you all know, impact is where it's going to be won and lost in Horizon Europe. That the excellence is really not in question in the majority of cases, but yeah, this point or half a point that everyone seems to be losing is on the question of impact. So F6S have a black and white reach. We have black and white reach because we're a transversal partner in across many topics. Yeah, heavy interest on digitalization, climate, SMEs, but I suppose we do have this, as I call it, a captured audience or a link to so many companies from different areas. So we systematically would lead the communication, dissemination, exploitation work package, and we also do cascade funding. Cascade funding, some of you might be aware of it, others might not be. Yeah, but we have a CRM system that it's kind of tried, trusted, and tested, I would say, in many projects. And yeah, we have a lot of experience in that too. So if we move to the next slide. Yeah, we're an innovation leader. I mean, we have SMEs, we have startups, we have entrepreneurs, but we also have large corporates as well. And we have these links that we host accelerators and different mechanisms of support to the 4 million companies that would be on the platform. Anybody can register. You can go on yourself and register on f6s.com. And I suppose, yeah, the day job, as I said, 130 people more or less would work on acceleration services, and 22 of us would work full-time on European projects. We coordinate 4 of those, and yeah, I suppose we coordinate if it makes sense to do so. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, that's to flavor some of the names. Some well-known actors there, as you know. But yeah, they would be the larger corporates, but yeah, the majority would be SMEs and startups. High tech by nature, but covering all sectors. And yeah, I suppose climate, digitalization, they would cover all those. Energy, that can range from apps to sensors to battery type companies. It covers the whole spectrum, to be quite honest. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one, please. Yeah, that's just as I said, a flavor of I suppose we're the vehicle for impact, you shall say. I suppose what the Commission want to see is how are you going to get your innovation out to the so-called real world, as one evaluator mentioned to me. Not to say that the university or research centre is not the real world, but you know what he meant. In essence, where is the project going? Our reach is massive, it's real, and I suppose being an accelerator platform, we do specialize as well in leaving the door open to what I call life after death, or what the Commission would call post-project exploitation. So yeah, it can be broken down into reach, I suppose, in the proposal that we have, these key impact pathways to measure during the life cycle of a project, and then post-project exploitation. So cascade funding, as I said, is another part of what we do, and communication, dissemination, exploitation in terms of this cluster. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we that's just a brief summary of what we do. As I said, third-party exploitation of results is really what I want to see, especially in this cluster, because it has to have a real-world impact, and as the Commission would see it, as how it would impact and have a real-world effect on the average man, woman, or child on the street in Europe. And yeah, I suppose we do tick that box of European dimension as well, which is always of interest in all proposals. Okay, next slide. And that's just a flavor of the reference projects that we're in. We're over 35, hitting 40 at the moment. That's not them all, but yeah, if I'll drop a link into the chat here and my email address. And if anybody has any questions or wants to reach out to us to solve that problem of impact that every consortium will face, happy to do so. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Robert. And we have another change of plans here. So we skip another presentation because of a last-minute cancellation. So we move forward to the last presentation, actually. Oh, here's also your contact, Robert. We move forward to the last presentation, and I could invite the representative of the Southeast Asia Help Desk. Are you here?
Yeah, hello, it's Nora. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Nora. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Hello everyone. I'm pleasure to be here. So yes, just a very quick introduction to the Southeast Asia IPSME Help Desk. This is an European Union funded project to support small and medium-sized enterprises from the EU to protect or enforce their intellectual property rights when they expand their business to Southeast Asia. The reason for this project is that SMEs, they often don't have their resources to think about an IP strategy. And the Commission created this project to give a sort of first-line advice to the companies to help them figure out the type of IP risks they will face in Southeast Asia and what kind of prevention measures they can take to ensure that they land on the market safely. Can we move to the next slide? Yes, so on this slide, you can see the services that we offer to companies. We have an inquiry helpline. So through this inquiry helpline, you can get in touch with us with any kind of IP questions related to the region, and we will get back to you within 3 working days. This can be, on any of the 10 ASEAN countries, or you want to figure out how to register a trademark, patent, trade secret, or you have a specific issue, then we can advise you on that. We have a website. I can also copy in the chat box later. So through our website, you can find our publications. So we have publications for the different ASEAN countries, also some industry-specific guides, for example, artificial intelligence, IoT, software. So you can surf through those publications as well. We offer some e-learning tools, which is an interactive way to learn about IP. And we organize training throughout the year, since 2020, mainly online. Before, we also did trainings in Europe and also in Southeast Asia to train SMEs on IP-related topics. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions on IP in the future, feel free to contact the Southeast Asia IPSME Help Desk, and we are happy to assist you. All services offered by the project are free of charge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora. Thank you. And I think before we close the session, I still want to check if Koen from the University of Ghent is now here. And I want to give him... Yes,
I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Then before we close, I move back to your presentation. Just give me a second. And then we also hear the high peak pitch. And again, a reminder, I think someone who's very tired is not muted yet. Please mute yourself. Give me a second. Here we are. Okay, Koen, it's your turn. Please, go ahead.
I apologize for being late. I had some technical issues on my side. So my name is Koen de Bosser. I'm professor at Ghent University. I also am the HighPeak coordinator, which is a network on high performance embedded architecture and compilation. Next slide, please. We plan to submit a proposal in the Data 0108 called the Roadmap for Next Generation Computing and Systems Technology, which is the CSA. We want to do this with a HighPeak network created in 2004, first as a network of excellence, and later then we continued as CSA. So we have been in existence for 17 years. Now we have around 2,000 members all over Europe in more than almost 500 institutions, and even beyond Europe in 50 countries. We organize networking events like the yearly HighPeak conference, which attracts something like 600 people per year, which is the second biggest conference in this area. And we also have a large summer school, computing summer school in the summer, and some other networking events throughout the year. Next slide, please. The second pillar of HighPeak, next to the events, is our communications. So we have a strong communications department where we disseminate the outcome of research results of our members. and also, of course, our own news on different websites, social media. We also have a jobs website, which helps our members to find talent for their projects and for their companies. So we have more than 600 open positions per year that we try to fill in through that website from inside Europe, but also from outside Europe. And then next slides. The third pillar is the HiPeak vision. Since 2008 and 2009, we have been writing biannual visions on just an example of the last edition of 2021. This booklet consists of a number of papers written by our members. So you see some examples on the right bottom corner. And these papers are in 4 categories. So we have technical dimensions, we have a business dimension, papers on societal dimensions, and also the European dimension, the position of Europe in the world. This leads to a series of recommendations at the technical, policy, and societal level. So you can download the visions. And then the final slides. So we are an open network. So we are always open for partners for the next project that we want to submit. So if you want to have more information, you can contact me. If you want to contribute, or if you want to join, feel free to contact me. This is my pitch.
Thank you so much, Koen. Thank you. Let me quickly stop sharing the screen here, and then we'll wrap up this session and continue. Give me 1 second. Okay, so thanks so much, everybody, for joining the session.